Okay, welcome back to the project. We are trying to re-enter the series or series that we used to work on during our before our crisis, which was like in 2021ish and 2019 to 2021. That was before shit went down south and spiraled out of control, but also even during the crisis, when we really couldn't make anything, we were still in large part doing similar things, and that's what we were doing was we were backlogging, we were saving all the topics and subject matter that's what we're talking about in like real life, right? That goes about our daily lives and various domains of life that, you know, are of use or interest, or just like a fun, right? And these covers from, you know, like healthcare to medicine to finance to relationships to security to like objects and possessions to principles of character and resilience and so on and so forth. So all that kind of stuff, and we kind of divvied them up into, you know, one way to divide it was like class 1, 2, 3, and 4, and those were divided by in terms of like utility and purpose. But you know, another way to think about them is also in terms of capacity for, I guess, the way how tangible they are. So you have like concrete items, activities, and people, things, and objects we can see. Like think of like in literature, nouns, right? People, we can tangible, concrete things. And the previous episode covered like mail, and so that's an example of that. Mail, flyers from the grocery store, and so on and so forth. The discounts and, you know, actual tangible objects are people. And then the second kind of covers more abstract things like information and data and researching on those topics. So it could be about healthcare, be about relationships, it could be about people, it could be about places, but it's like information that we research online. So it would show on this browser tab up here, right? And then to go extend further and become even more abstract, things become even less tangible and more abstract, is to go into like principles in philosophical and psychology and anthropology and social matters and social issues, right? Those can become really, really abstract, right? You know, and so this is kind of like right in the middle, right? It's about information, and I can still show you these things. So I think and we're going to try to keep things down to maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, right? That's the aim, the goal, as we are trying to get back down to a regular time frame. So we're going to start off here today and with internet. So I don't know what kind of internet service provider you guys are using, right? Because obviously every country has their own. But in my country, we have like three major telecom companies. Like I think one is Bell, Simpatico, Rogers, AT&T, Cantel, and then well, it's not AT&T anymore. That's like an obsolete kind of thing. But then before, and then also then there's a Telus, and then there's supposed to be a fourth. I believe it's a Freedom, but I think they're being bought out soon or something like that. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. The point is, I had this period about a month ago where I encountered some issues with my internet access, and that's largely because I just realized how much unhealthy I look right now. It's a lot of it is like diet and exercise, but we were kind of bogged down with all this information and all this like stuff that we need to do and get out of the way first. So we're gonna take care of that first. I'm definitely having too much salt. It's obvious in my complexion, my face, that I'm having too much like salt and not enough water, and stress as well. But yeah. Anyways, back on topic, right? So my service provider, you know, one of them is Rogers, and so we're gonna run through maybe about like 7-8 tabs. So one of the things I was dealing with about a month ago was some internet connectivity issues. And I went out of my way to actually buy a TP-Link device, which is like an internet adapter and I guess I would show you right now if it wasn't on top. I mean, if my webcam that's recording right now, it wasn't on top of it. Basically, it didn't end up becoming of much use because it turns out the problem wasn't with my network adapter. At first, I thought it was a Windows security and Windows update issue. After updating to Windows 11 feature update 23H, 2H or something like that. And then it turns out, yeah, that's part of the issue, but you can't really backdate or undo the update. So then I thought I had to like change something with incompatibility with the internet network adapter by buying a new one, and it wasn't really necessary at all. So I just kind of blew $30 out the window for nothing. And then I found out that the most effective way was that, it's just the internet security protocol. Yeah, I could, there were issues with incompatibility, but they could be resolved mainly by just addressing the main issue with my antivirus software and the compatibility with the new feature update of Windows 11, which is basically they weren't satisfied, Windows 11, and in conjunction with my anti-malware software, they weren't satisfied with the amount of security measures put in place on my Wi-Fi modem, my router, and so I had to go on. So the first tab here is it says basically find, change, or share. It's a small screen. I'm not going to show you an expanded version of this because I have to. If you can't tell, there's a little bit above here is a little privacy graphic. I'm going to try to expand it right now in real time so you can see. Oh, you can see that. I'm just expanding. I used to use this graphic back when I used to record, and I can still use it now, basically to cover up private information. And so, for example, things that I really shouldn't show, like, I don't know, email or names or stuff like that. But yeah, so I have it there, and it's covering basically some information that's on the navigation panel of the website. So I'm not logged in though, so that kind of annoyed me. But anyways, I'll read it to you. So I can't show you the whole thing because, again, the graphic would, the website, if I show you the whole page, would reveal some information that's probably not best to be shown. So we have some entries here about find, change, or share your Rogers Xfinity user, reschedule, cancel a service appointment, how to reschedule your installation, how to optimize your home Wi-Fi, restart or reset the gateway, blah-de-da. That's one page. I was kind of troubleshooting. If you couldn't tell, I was like, what do I need to do here to make things work again? And I was trying to figure out at the time, one thing I needed to do was kind of like log in. I need to log in to the credentials and the administrative features on my modem. And I had ironically not done that for the longest time, even though I moved into this place for like about a year, at least more than that. And I'd never changed the security functions because I just didn't know how. And I thought I had, but I was wrong because there was so much more to it that I didn't change, that I could change, that I didn't know about. So I had to learn a lot, and I wrote this all on task list. I had to learn, how to update and change a password, to something much more secure, what the username by default was in the first place, the default password was in the first place, how to update like different levels from low to medium to typical to recommended to like high security levels, switch the encryption protocols and all that interesting stuff, and what devices are connected to the Wi-Fi, and then change not just the password on my administration but also my modem's account, but also change the password to my Wi-Fi network as well as the name of my Wi-Fi network. So there's a network, use name and password, as well as the router or modem's name and password. So all of that needs to be changed. And of course, if some of you guys are working in IT, this is all like basic information for you guys. Like obviously you're like, damn, you didn't know this, but yeah, forgive my like ignorance here. But that's why it's interesting, because there's going to be a lot of people who don't know about this, especially like the old generation. Some of you guys might not even know. Like I didn't know. I'm probably younger than you, but just speaking to the old folks out there who are watching, I didn't know this, but it's obviously important because it involves like cybersecurity, and if you don't want your information leaked, that's something really important, is to update the security your Wi-Fi network, your modem routers, user credentials, and then in addition to that, number 3, also the security level once you get inside your modem and network to update its security as well. It's like firewall. So the next page here, it's like how to find, change, or share your Wi-Fi password for the Rogers Xfinity Gateway. So that's an example of one of the modems here. They show you 3 different versions of the Xfinity Gateway. So it's like a password reset. And if I go over here to this like server not found, this is actually when I was trying to log in to one of the accounts. And I believe this was like, yeah, there it goes, says, account at Rogers. And at some point I also wanted to go to like a troubleshooting forum because I thought I can't figure out what's going on. I really want to go and see what's up. And so I headed over to like Shaw or something. And I think that Shaw would used to be another competitor. That was, again, it was a bought out. So you can see that's like it's like really being like monopolized in Canada right now. We have real, several companies are just buying out its competitors, which is going to happen in any sort of like free capital country or capitalist country, right? It's kind of normal for this to happen, and I'm not exactly for or against it. I don't have too many. All systems have their own like flaws and benefits as well. I'm not going to get into that kind of political debate right now. It's not really relevant. So here we can close that, and like I said, the forums on Shaw bought out, and yeah. So then the Wi-Fi password thing. And then there was also a page here which I'm not going to show in its entirety, but basically it's how to get to it's like a web page for logging into the modem, which I'm going to just hover my mouse over, and I think you should be able to see it if I do that. Not like this. Okay, maybe like this. That's good enough. I don't want to show the whole thing, so in fact, I think I can pause my video recording right now. It's not clear to me if I can. Okay, 1, 2. But if whether I can or can't pause it, let's just keep going. I'm not sure if it does allow me to pause actually. Maybe just close it. Okay. Yeah, so it does allow me to pause. I just didn't realize that where it shows whether or not I've paused. I thought the button would change and I could see whether or not it was paused visually, but it only shows me at the very bottom of like the footer of OBS, which is fine. It's okay. There's no problem with that. So let's head on over to the next thing, right? So yeah, close like 4 or 5 browsers now related to that, and now we head over to the device guides. So this is where I was learning about how to use each of the modems or the specific one that I'm looking for, and they have guides for all the variations. Just like when you purchase a new device, like a new laptop, you have the software, the OS, the whatever. And so I just had to pick the right modem at the end of the day. And once I do that, it will bring you to like settings, setting up profiles. This one says set up profiles to manage devices with the app. So you can use the Xfinity app to set up personalized profiles for family members, guests, or activities. Once created, it allows you to pause, access, or turn on parental control. So obviously this is for like a family if you have kids and you're thinking of like restricting or censoring a little bit. Well, I don't really know if I agree with that entirely, but of course there is a certain age, of course, where the kids are just too young and there are some things that you just don't want them to see, or maybe you want to limit the number of hours that your kid spends on the internet, too much social media, too much technology, too much internet for the day. That was a meme way back, right? They say, this is too much internet. You kind of cut it down to like 2 hours per day is like more than what the stereotypical old adage would have been back in the day. No more gaming, no more playing, no more videos or whatever, and that was very strict. And nowadays it's the opposite. It's way too excessive. It's like kids are spending like 6 to 8 hours on the internet and they're not really doing anything aside from like scrolling through like TikTok or stuff like that, right? I'm pretty sure that's not the case anymore, but as of the past couple of years, I think people kind of woke up from that, mind-numbing instant gratification type nonsense, I would hope. And so they do it less now, maybe like 3 hours, which is not like great, but it's like that's like manageable, I suppose. So it's like that's parental controls and stuff like that. Next looks like FAQ, so frequently asked questions about advanced security. Okay, FAQs about advanced security in the Xfinity app. And so they also are promoting an app, right? A phone app you can download and change all the settings and everything. And if I could probably show you if I did, but I'm not going to do that. Basically, my phone right here is like I've downloaded the app, and I've been able to use my phone to alter some important settings on the Wi-Fi modem, and so I can do that now without having to log into that specific website through the browser. It's really nice. Set up a bunch of profiles, and I think there's going to be another episode dedicated to that kind of stuff, which I may get to like many months or not a year or two down the road if I'm still alive and kicking and not, like wrecked by a drunk driver or some lightning strikes twice on the same spot and I happen to be there. So it's sort of dark humor. But anyways, so FAQs. Okay. Now we have a pause devices, so Wi-Fi access for Xfinity app. If you're a raw drivers together with Shaw customer, visit our website for support with our services. So I don't think this is applicable to me, but pause devices, Wi-Fi access. This is applicable to me, but not the Shaw portion, because I'm not working. My services aren't bundled with Shaw, I don't believe. But yeah, the point here is you can pause devices that are accessing your Wi-Fi by just using your phone and saying, oh, these are devices that are connected. I got a smart TV here, 2 mobile devices, including my internet laptop, and then there's a 5th device here that I don't recognize, and I don't know what this is. Might be some sketch like hacker thing. And you just like go on your phone and just tell it and just disconnect it using your app. So it's really nice. You can do that. Great security measures, and then finally, I think this is the last one. So this is a credit card thing here. Okay, so this has actually got more to do with financing, but I'll cover it anyways. Basically, long story short, I can pay my bills through, if I want to, using a credit card that they're promoting, which I can't say whether or not I've actually applied through it or not, but it was promoted on the website. I've seen in my city that there's a lot of people who use this credit card, and after looking through the benefits, I can see why they would do that, because it's pretty appealing. But of course, there are some limitations here, like you can only get 3% cash back specifically with purchases with this service, with this company. So that's a very big limitation. But of course, there's a standard, 1% cash back, 1.5% cash back if you go for any other regular purchases from groceries or gas station or whatever. So I won't say whether I have or don't have this card, but it was something definitely that was promoted on the website, because if you decide to pay your bills using this, I believe you can do something about like converting points or some kind of like reward program they have incentivized there. So, and that's it. I think that's it for this episode. And it's a lot of just like a lot of internet, and it was important. It was like cybersecurity, general the router and modem. It's like a lot of IT related stuff here, and generally speaking, the problem was resolved. I'm very happy to say that within about within 5 days or so, I managed to get my internet up and functional and working again. But during those 5 days, it was just so fucking annoying because there was so much I need to get done. Administratively, there's a lot of stuff I need to get done online, and I couldn't connect even if I used like a mobile hotspot and use the hotspot network from my phone. I still couldn't connect because there was something just seriously wrong with the network settings here. And so I'm glad that that's been resolved, and with that being said, I think that's a good place to wrap up. The next episode, I think, is going to cover, looks like extensions. So it's going to cover some stuff here, I think, about extensions specifically with this browser, and it's Mozilla Firefox. So let's look forward to that. Thanks for tuning in. It's exactly 20 minutes on the dot, and this is Shrovsky. I'm signing out, and I'll see you next one. And of course, you can feel free to drop what kind of providers you use, or whatever. If you work in an IT related field or cybersecurity field, feel free to share some stories or your personal not information, just personal experiences in the comments below. So with that being said, I'm signing out, and see you guys in the next one. And when we cover, browser.